Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day, happy Tuesday. Betwabu, betwabu, betwabu. Sawubona. All right, y'all. We're going to get right to it. But first, let me give a shout out to my hubby. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I always give a little shout out to the birthday people and sing them a little song for about 3 seconds. All right, y'all. So, happy birthday to my husband, James Murphy. I won't give y'all his age. Just know he's a year older than me. And if you heard me talk about my age, you know how old he is. So, all right, y'all. Today, it is day 174, June 16th, 2020, Tuesday. And we are reading Isaiah 37, 38, and 39. Remember yesterday where we left off, the king of Assyria was talking big junk. Saying, now, who is this Yahuwah? Have you not seen and heard about all of my glory and how all these kings thought they were going to get away from me, but I overtook them and their land and their forces? Who is Yah? Who is Yah to me? Get out of here. That's what he was saying. I'm like, yeah. He done ran into the right king today. So this picks up with King Hezekiah. Sawubona, Yibo, Sawubona, Yah. All right, Isaiah chapter 37, y'all. And it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes. Remember, the king of Assyria had just said this, talking this junk to him. So, and it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of Yahuwah. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said unto him, Thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and of blasphemy. For the children are come to birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. It may be that Yahuwah, our God, will hear the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria his master hath sent to reproach the living God, and will reprove the words which Yahuwah thy God hath heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that is left.
Isaiah, guess what we did?
Hey, Isaiah, Joshua, chill.
Get the ready one. Hey.
Hey,
Ow!
hey. Sorry, y'all. Hey, quiet down in there, y'all.
And I don't usually want to.
So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, Thus shall ye say unto your master, Thus saith Yahuwah, Be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor, and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. And he heard say concerning Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, he is coming forth to make war with thee. And when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, Let not thy God in whom thou trust deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands by destroying them utterly, and shalt thou be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan and Haran and Rezeph and the children of Eden which were in Telassar? Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arphad, and the king of the city of the Saravaim, Hena and Eva? And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of Yahuwah and spread before him. And Hezekiah prayed unto Yahuwah, saying, O Yahuwah of hosts, the God of Israel, that dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art the God, even thou alone, and all the kingdoms of the earth thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thy ear, O Yahuwah, and hear. Open thy eyes, O Yahuwah, and see. And hear all the words of Sennacherib, which have sent to reproach the living God. Of a truth, Yahuwah, the kings of Assyria, have laid waste to all the nations of their countries, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of man's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, O Yahuwah our God, save us from his hand, and all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art Yahuwah, even thou only. real quick. I'm going to hold my place right here, verse 21. You hear what he said, verse 19, and have cat. Remember, he was talking about the kings of Assyria, how they went up against the other nations. He said, and cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore, they have destroyed them. And it's kind of relating to what's happening today with all the statues being torn down. Think about it. When Edom came in and took over the lands, and they took our people as slaves wherever they invaded. Think about it, y'all. They came in, they tore stuff down. They not only murdered people, stole from them, pillaged them. They also set fire to the lands. They burnt stuff, and they rebuilt with their things. If they had any statues or anything up, like totem poles or whatever it was that they had to signify that this was their land, this tribe was here, and we have markers here stating that this is our territory, they tore them down and put up their own statues, saying, no, this is no longer your land, this is our land. So when I see that happening today, I'm immediately reminded that this is a part of war and what they do. When somebody comes in and takes over, or they're tearing down their previous kingdom, they tear down the landmarkers to let you know that you are no longer in charge. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that. It's like, oh, don't wipe away history. I'm like, y'all can't even see the kingdoms changing right in front of your face. This is classic kingdom and dynasty changing. You have to get rid of all their statues, their gods, their pillars in the land to let them know you are no longer in rule. They're fighting to the death. They're fighting back. They're using legislation and pen and paper and everything, but they are tearing them down. They're not waiting for those in office to do it. They say, y'all taking too long. Y'all been sitting in office too long. Y'all sitting up there fat and drunk and ain't doing nothing and just sitting these things. So we're going to make y'all move a little bit faster. So they're tearing them down. So when they see them coming, get the crews out there, do it, get it. I'm telling y'all, pay attention, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention. This is classic kingdom transitioning, taking over. There's another kingdom that's about to be set up, and things going to be set in a different order here. So, all right, back to verse 21. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, sent to Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, the God of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, the king of Assyria. This is the word which Yahuwah hath spoken concerning him, the virgin, the daughter of Zion. Listen, when he says the virgin, when Yahuwah says the virgin, he's talking about the daughter of Zion. He brings that out, unless you read in Isaiah chapter 7. That virgin he's talking about is not really a virgin at all. They just changed the translation of that, and it really should read young woman, a young maiden, because he was talking specifically about Isaiah's wife in Isaiah chapter 7. And if you have older versions of the Bible, your footnotes and your precepts will tell you that. That's why they remove all this stuff with the newer version. I'm telling y'all got to go back just a little bit further to see the original text and the original words, because when they remove that, people get off, and they get off into other doctrines and things that don't make sense, and they got these whole new things that they're teaching to a whole new generation of people that should have never been taught. They're teaching out of the wisdom of men, and it's just simple, just little light research. Go back to the original text, and you can see the original translation. A lot of times when they translate from other languages, they're just kind of, in other languages, this one word may have like virgin. The U.S. English, they just use virgin. They lump everything in, where it uses an original text. It uses young woman, maiden. Now, they deciphered it in different places, but you can tell that this was purposely done, because the word for virgin and young woman, like virgin as has not slept with a man, is Bethula, and young maiden, which is Alma, someone who is not a virgin, is just a young woman. There was a separation, and you could tell, and they use it in proper context in places where they when they translated in the King James or English versions. So you would sit here and wonder, like, okay, was this an oversight here in chapter 7, or was this done on purpose? Because you use it in other places in proper context, but when you get right here to this particular chapter, it seems like somebody wasn't paying attention, or there was an oversight here. I don't think it was an oversight. It was done on purpose to push a narrative to get people to believe something that's not true. And if you don't look into that and verify some stuff, you got to be diligent about what you're studying. Just check behind people. Check behind them. Not that they're purposely trying to fool you, but some people are purposely trying to fool you to get your mind going into a direction that's going to get you off that you shouldn't be looking. And now you're off track and don't even realize you're off track because the masses are off track because the masses have believed the lie. And nobody from the masses have decided to, let's just look into this real quick. It's only going to take us a few minutes. And it'll be like, oh, wait a minute. So now when you try and tell people, it's like, oh, no, this is what, no, we already know. Let's keep going. It's like, wait. But look. And, just people would rather just continue going in the wrong. It's easier to go with the masses instead of going against the grain because you get kicked back. And now people, they kicking you out the clique or whatever you want to call it. It's like, oh no, she didn't get off into heresy. It's like, listen, right here. What is this? What is this? Let's put the original text translated right here. Okay, somebody else do it. Let me check me, see if I'm wrong. Like seriously. So, but you have to, small things that it's just a little leavens the entire loaf and gets people off, and you're blinded and you can't see. So now truth sounds foreign to you because for so long you've been taught and you believe the lie. So just want to bring that out. I'm going to reread verse 22 and I'm going to keep going. This is the word which Yahuwah have spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed? And against whom hast thou exalted thy voice and lifted up thine eyes on high? Even against the Holy One of Israel. Remember, the Holy One of Israel is Yahuwah. By thy servant hast thou reproached Yahuwah, and hast said, by the multitude of my chariots am I come up to the height of the mountains and to the sides of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof and the choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of his border and the forest of his Carmel. I have digged and drunk water with the sole of my feet. Have I dried up all the rivers of the besieged places? Hast thou not heard long ago how I have done it of ancient times, and how I have formed it? Now I have brought it to pass that thou should be to lay waste defense cities into ruinous heaps. Therefore their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass on the housetop, and as the corn blasted before it be grown up. But I know thy abode, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me. Because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into my ears, therefore I will put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way which thou camest. And it shall be a sign unto thee, ye shall eat this year such as groweth of itself, and the second year that springeth of the same, and in the third year sow ye, and reap and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward, and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahuwah shall do this. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, saith Yahuwah. That's Yahuwah's answer after King Hezekiah was crying out to him. He just said, listen, he's not even going to set foot in this territory. I'm going to turn him around, and he's going to go back to where he came, and his own people going to take him out. Verse 35, Isaiah chapter 37. For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of Yahuwah went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nishrosh his god, the Adramelech and Sharezer his sons smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon his son reigned in his stead. See, his own sons took him out. Isaiah chapter 38. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him and said unto him, thus says Yahuwah, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed unto Yahuwah and said, remember now, O Yahuwah, I beseech thee, Have I now walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight? And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of Yahuwah to Isaiah, saying, Go and say to Hezekiah, Thus saith Yahuwah, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayers, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out into the hand and I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and will defend this city. And this shall be a sign unto thee from Yahuwah, that Yahuwah will do this thing that he hath spoken. Behold, I will bring again the shadow of degrees, which is going down by the sundown of Ahaz, 10 degrees backwards. So the sun returned 10 degrees, by which degrees it was going down. The writing of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, when he had been sick and was recovered of his sickness. I said, in the cutting off of my days, I shall go to the gates of the grave. I am deprived of the residue of my years. I said, I shall not see Yahuwah, even Yahuwah, in the land of the living. I shall behold man no more with the inhabitants of the world. My age is departed, and is removed from me as a shepherd's tent. I have cut off like a weaver my life. He will cut me off with pining sickness. From day even to night will thou make an end of me. I reckon till morning that as a lion, so will he break all my bones. From day even to night will thou make an end of me. Like a crane or a swallow, so did I chatter. I did mourn as a dove. Mine eyes filled with looking upward. O Yahuwah, I am oppressed. Undertake for me. What shall I say? He hath both spoken unto me, and himself hath done it. I shall go softly all my years in the bitterness of my soul. O Yahuwah, by these things men live, and in all these things is the life of my spirit. So wilt thou recover me and make me to live. Behold, for peace I have great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption. For thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. For the grave cannot praise thee, death cannot celebrate thee. They that go down into the pit cannot hope for thy truth. The living, he shall praise thee, as I do this day. The father to the children shall make known thy truth. Yahuwah was ready to save me. Therefore will we sing songs to the string instruments all the days of our life in the house of Yahuwah. For Isaiah had said, Let them take a lump of figs and lay it for plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover. Hezekiah also had said, What is the sign that I shall go up into the house of Yahuwah? Isaiah chapter 39, last chapter for the day. At that time, Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he had heard that he had been sick and was recovered. And Hezekiah was glad of them, and showed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. This is King Hezekiah's downfall. Like, y'all just raised you up. And although you and the king of Babylon wasn't beefing at the time, you should not have invited him in the house and showed him all the secret things of the kingdom of Judah. And then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah, and said unto him, What said these men, and from whence they came unto thee? And Hezekiah said, They are come from a far country unto me, even from Babylon. Then said he, What have they seen in thy house? And Hezekiah answered, All that is in my house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not shown them. Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, Hear the word of Yahuwah of hosts. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store until this day, shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, saith Yahuwah. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then said Hezekiah unto Isaiah, Good is the word of Yahuwah which thou hast spoken. He said, Moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days. I'm like, bruh, sure, you're going to have peace your next 15 years till you die, but after you go, the king of Babylon is coming and taking away all this stuff. Like, King. But King Hezekiah was considered one of the most righteous kings that lived, aside from King Josiah, and it was another king. I think it was Asa, and it was another king. But yeah, like, bruh, how you get healed from death and then go do something foolish to get the whole kingdom taken away? All right, y'all. So that's our reading for today. That was Isaiah chapter 37, 38, and 39. And look, we are coming up on one of the, it's going to be a few days. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In about 3 days, we're going to get the major chapter that there's a lot of debate over is Isaiah chapter 53. Remember, when the scrolls and these letters were written, there were not chapters and verses. So what happens here, when people get to Isaiah 53, it's the famous suffering servant chapter. This is another chapter that has been taken out of context, where if you get rid of the verses and the chapters and put it all together and go all the way back, let's say go all the way back to Isaiah 48, read it in context, you will see that the suffering servant that they are talking about in Isaiah 53 is not a future prophecy for somebody who's to come on the scene. This is not a prophecy about JC. This is talking about Israel. If you read it in context, we will see that this is talking about Israel, Yahuwah's people, Yahuwah's suffering servant, who has always been suffering for turning away from Yah. Like, seriously. But we're going to get to that. I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown when we actually get to that chapter, but I just want to let you know we're coming upon that, and that particular day may be a little bit long. May not. I may just type it out ahead of time so I can just put it in the comments section for those of you that want to kind of go back and look at it, so that's what I'm going to do over the next couple of days. All right, so with that being said, beautiful people, I hope you enjoy the reading for today, day 174, Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. Time to do the blessing, Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise shall ye bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. Love you. See you bright and early in the morning. 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.